Right, welcome back to the channel, guys. I don't know what to do with my hands, but today we're going to be working on the Vauxhall Corsa E. So, as you can see, we turned it around. It's looking graceful in the sunlight. We're starting a bit late today, but we got it started. And I don't know how to compose myself when I tell you this, but it runs. My Vauxhall Corsa E that I bought from Copart almost a year ago runs. Let that sink in. So for many of you that have actually been here since last July is when I started rebuilding this car, you will be very excited in this episode. And that brings me on to any new subscribers. If you do want to see more builds, more progress, and just more content in general, please press the subscribe button because it helps me out massively. And for everyone else, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the videos. Let's crack on with this. Enough explaining. I will show you what you want to see. So how I started to actually get to the source of the problem of why I wasn't getting a crank when I turned the key. So a subscriber reached out to me. We've just been exchanging messages, and he actually worked for Vauxhall many years, and he actually was kind enough to send me out a diagnostic tool. It was for Vauxhall specifically, and he sent it out, sent me a video which was more than like I expected from any subscriber, anyone that I didn't know in my personal life, but there we are. Can't fault him enough. He sent it out, he sent a video, and I used it, and we got to 6 codes, possibly. I think it was around 6 codes. I might have to put the screenshots of the codes up on the screen. And basically we found out which circuit was the issue, and it was the ignition circuit. So what we then done was I on my end went through all the fuses again. We went through every single possibility in terms of I've opened up every kind of panel for the ignition circuit basically, and we just been testing for continuity in the circuit, etc. And then eventually my dad came up and he said, look, we're gonna get this started now, like you're gonna be on the key, and he's just gonna be checking the fuses, just because most with the ignition circuit you've got the live, which is the constant 12 volts I believe, and then the ignition 12 volt. So basically that tells the car to start. So you've got all the relays, and you've got all the fuses, and you've got J fuses as well. So we're just going through them one by one, making sure everything got live, everything got continuity and the ground basically. And it got to the ignition starter relay, the one I replaced. Now, the only thing I can think of is in the crash, obviously we had the cracked case. Now I'll show you that. The relay on the right, the one in my hands now, is the relay we got from Copart. This is how the relay came without the plastic housing that came around it. This was £15 to replace from Vauxhall. I thought, get the brand new one, just so we know we've got a good ignition fuse relay. What happened was, in the crash, if you see down here, that bottom left hand pin that the wire is coming out of, that is a ground for the relay. And what we were doing, we actually put this power probe onto the live side of the battery, and we're testing for a ground, and we were getting nothing from that pin. So what we did was connected a wire, just a hard wire, straight to the ground, And what we did was we put the relay back in. And what we'll do, we'll grab the keys now. Actually starts by the key. Now it's a bit rough, just because we've got the cold air intake. And just, it hasn't been really run in the last year. But we've got all singing, all dancing, Vauxhall Corsa E. So with everything that's been going on with work and just life in general, I haven't been able to make a video on this, and I didn't really know how to make this video just because I haven't been filming the steps that I've been taking, as we weren't getting anywhere with what I was filming. It would have just been dead content that was helpful to no one really. But this in this video I can show you what we did and how much of a headache it was. It truly was a headache, and I was getting very, very upset with the build just because of how much, not just the money, but the time that we put into just getting a Vauxhall Corsa started. Like, it's just, I've watched videos of people swapping Lambo engines into bloody Golfs and that, and it's just like, why can't I get a 1.2 Vauxhall Corsa engine started? But we got there, and this is just the start of what I am able to do. My knowledge has grown a lot, and I've got now a lot more tools to be able to help others with what they. It's just a good learning experience, to be honest, and I'm glad that I've had this headache, I guess, to actually be able to focus on something and actually work something out. And I am really glad that I can share this experience with all and any of you. So yeah, hopefully we can pick up the pace of these builds. I do need to find my next project. I really would like some comments on what you would like to see on the channel. I have got, well, everyone seems to have done a Ford Fiesta ST, but well, as you can see there, I am a Ford fan, and I would love to do a Ford Fiesta ST or a Ford Focus ST, but we'll leave that to the comment section, possibly. But we're gonna crack on. I've done enough blabbering on about what my last couple of weeks and months have been like, but yeah, we'll get straight onto a time lapse of me doing something to this car to make it look pretty. Yeah, happy days. Just £5 more than that entire relay cost me. I've actually got a whole fuse board, which I hope is just gonna have we're gonna skip actually just this wire, and just gonna have a full-blown fix, hopefully. So hopefully we'll have, I'm hoping it's just the fuse board that's gone on it. Fuse board now. We had just a broken kind of, I think it's the battery sensor, something like that. Just took that off and put the new one on. I haven't tested any of the fuses. haven't tested any of the relays, but I'm hoping just straight out of the box it kind of works. I'm taking the tag off just in case we have to send it back for any reason, but it's the old one here, a little smashed up, but we shall see if it was just a case of changing the fuse board, which I was going to do. I thought, oh, be smart, kind of save yourself a £5 or whatever. I should have done it right from the start. I guarantee you now we'll have a fix. Right, key in, clutch down. Oh my god. All along, it was just the fuse board. That could have saved me a lot of time if I just thought, I was trying to stick to a budget and I was trying to keep costs down, and that's just what happens really. But we have learnt the hard way, and I will happily learn the hard way, because then in the future we just know. Trying to be wise and try not to let it get to me, but we've got a running car with no dodgy wires hanging off the battery, so we can be happy about that. That was the angle I was actually filming on, just to get that. It did do the trick. Brake disc. Right guys, I'm going to end out this video here. So basically where we are is I don't actually have the parts that I thought I had in the garage. We've got some, but some are broken and I'm not really happy with the condition that they're in, and I'm actually selling this car to my brother for his first car, so I want it to be good for him. I want it to be like I would anyway, but I want like the fuse box cover, I want that properly. I want the air box because it came with a cold air intake. I want it all nice and pucker and just sound, because he'll have a black box and I don't want any insurance company trying to well, getting him on any little mods or anything that isn't correct in the engine bay. So little update, I've booked in the windscreen company. They're coming out to me Friday. It's now Wednesday, so by the end of this week I'll have a windscreen in the car, and then I can start lining up the parts I do have, like the wing, the headlights, bumper. Got a little issue with the bumper. The parts I sprayed, these little bits that go onto the bottom of the bumper, I'm toying with a few ways to actually make them to the car. Just because there's parts that I don't have, so I'm kind of doing it myself, and there's ways on YouTube that I've been looking and they seem to be good, pointing me in the right direction. So I'm not going to do a video on that. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, but hopefully in the next video I'll have all the parts that I need just to finish up the engine bay and get this car looking like it's ready for an MOT. And I'll make sure I bolt down the headlights this time and make sure everything's secured tightly. But yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching or getting this far in the video. Sorry I wasn't as interested in me building or anything, but this was just an update that I got the car started finally. So yeah, thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please comment if you have anything that you want to tell me, anything, point me in the right direction towards anything. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll catch you on the next one.